thought we'd end the show off by talking about the Canadian dollar right before we get to a couple of questions. Hopefully you can squeeze them in. Canadian dollar actually has rallied a little bit in the last little while, in that 74, 75 cent range today. And a lot of people ask me, Alan, why the strength in the Canadian dollar? Is it something we're doing here? Is it our economy? And the simple answer is no. It's actually a weakening US dollar has helped our Canadian dollar move higher. Why is the US dollar moving lower? Because I think everybody's anticipating the end of these interest rate hikes. Also, the US economy is not doing as well, slowing down. Obviously, our economy here in Canada is following as well, but a lot of focus has been on a slowing US economy and about possible mild recession. So that's going to obviously affect the currency, and the US dollar has fallen. But overall, what affects the Canadian currency? What affects our dollar versus US? Well, simply put, there are a couple of things. Obviously, GDP growth. A lot of people think that if Canada reports a good GDP growth number, it's going to affect our stock market. Not exactly. It'll affect our dollar. Oil prices, high commodity prices. That helps our dollar move higher as well. And lastly, higher interest rates. Bank of Canada were to continue on this path of higher rates, you would probably see our dollar gain strength against the US dollar. Right now, the US is raising rates and we're on pause. So our dollar is in that 70 to 75 cent range. If it had been the other way, us raising while they're on pause, they're meaning United States, you'd probably see our dollar over 80 cents. So most of the economic data that we see, retail sales, manufacturing, whatever comes out in Canada, tends to affect our dollar a lot more than it affects the stock market. And I think that fools a lot of people. But right now, our dollar has been gaining a little bit of strength versus the US. I anticipate our dollar hovering around 75 to 77 cents at some point. I think that is a good average for our dollar. And anytime you factor in converting currency, that should be kind of the base case, in my opinion. A 75, 76 cent dollar seems to always make sense. And that's what our dollar tends to reverts to the mean or the average, in my opinion, over the long term.